What's up guys, Kizzle here and welcome back to another video. As you can probably tell from the results on the screen and the title of the video, we are staying here for another season at Crystal Palace. It's time to build on our achievements last year and really give it a good go. So massive thank you to all of you that voted. We had a super season last year, as you can see by the board update here. We achieved our league objectives of finishing in a Europa League spot and a great performance in a domestic cup. You can't really argue with that, we won them both. So hoping to build on that success as we head into the new season. You can see the objective of the domestic cup is to reach the quarter final, which is reasonable considering we are the current holders. Budget £28 million, wage budget of 130. Decent, sizable budget. I'll probably request more funds because, as I said, this year we are going for the league title. So I'll try and get some more money in to get some better quality players. And you can see now that league objective is to emulate exactly what we did last year and finish in the top 5 to ensure Europa League qualification. We are definitely hoping to do better than that. I just want to give you guys a quick update on who we are looking to leave or see, who's transfer listed. James McArthur, Wilfred Zaha is transfer listed by the board. Jordan Much, Hennessy has already agreed a deal to join Sunderland and he'll move there within the next couple of days. Of course, we've got Ramirez coming in as well. And Jonathan Williams we're looking to sell. I just want to improve the squad, tweak it a little bit, and make sure we're not carrying any dead wood. I know he's got some decent potential, but he's going to get limited first team opportunities. So time in terms of pre-season competitions, we've got to pick which one we want to go for. Of course, I'm just going to go for the one with the most money. There's some difficult teams in there: West Ham, Besiktas, Ajax, Schalke, Villarreal. It's not an easy tournament, but that's the one we're going to go into with £7 million up for grabs. And you can see Ramirez has now joined the club. Several players have left. The main ones being, in terms of players that are out of contract, Dwight Gale, Martin Kelly and Joe Ledley. All weren't offered a new deal and have all decided to leave the club. Grimaldo and Felix Platter, of course, are going back to their parent clubs. We had them in on loan. This man, Grimaldo, who was very impressive at left back, only valued at $2 million, which surprises me. We're going to put that offer in and try and get his signature, bring him to the club on a permanent basis. Felix Platter, on the other hand, was underwhelming, didn't grab a goal, and we will not look to bring him back. But objectives, domestically, very reasonable. In terms of Europe, they want us to win the Europa League, reach the final of the Europa League. It's a tough ask. We're going to definitely have to improve the squad, I think, in order to do that. I've identified the areas in which we need to improve. We're looking for a left back, some wide midfielders because we are limited there, and a first team quality striker. I would also be open to signing another centre-back as well. So you guys make sure, if you've got any suggestions, make them relevant to those positions and we'll see what we can do. Transfer offers coming in. This was reminiscent of last season. Jack Butland, we received so many offers. I thought about negotiating big money, but I decided just to reject all future offers. We don't want to put ourselves in a position where we have to find a backup keeper. But I showed you the positions. Here is the short list of players that I'm interested in. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this, and if there's any other players you want to add, let me know. Basically, normally I put a load of bids in for players and kind of keep them all negotiating at once and then finalise one or two of the deals. This time I'm going to send some inquiries to see if the transfers are realistic. Any players that come off that list or any inquiries where they're really far-fetched and they ask for ridiculous money, we just won't follow up. But Olivier Giroud is a transfer target, £10 million we've offered for him. Hopefully Arsenal will accept. His contract does expire with them this year, so hopefully we can bring him in. He's a bit of a goal machine in real life and will offer us something different to what we've got up front at the moment with just the two strikers in the squad, Vardy and Berahino. But time to jump into our first match here of the European International Cup, I think it is. Can't remember which one we actually entered, but we're taking on Hoffenheim here at the Veltins Arena, my favourite stadium for anybody who's interested. I know the pre-season friendlies aren't the most interesting of fixtures, so I'll be kind of speeding through them, just showing you the real key highlights from these. I won't be going into as much detail as we normally would in a league game, but we've put a strong squad out. I want to play the same formation just to see kind of where we're at. Obviously, pre-season is the ideal chance to try some new formations or rotate the players somewhat. You can see we get off to a decent start inside 10 minutes here. Video doing his normal trickery down the right-hand side, done all the hard work going past the defenders quite easily actually, and it did, I must say, have a pre-season feel to this game. But Coquelin, not usually amongst the goals, but that was a decent finish, just kind of swept it into that top corner. But shortly afterwards, a lapse in the defensive side of things. We look good going forward and we look shaky at the back. Hoffenheim get themselves level. They weren't behind for very long at all, just a matter of 4 minutes. So that's something we need to address. But that's what pre-season is for, you know. You iron out these mistakes, you see your areas of weakness, and you just improve the squad over time. Brilliant save from Jack Butland there, and like I showed you the shortlist, it's massive. Of course, realistically, we're not going to be able to bring in a lot of those players. I could tell you now, for example, Pedro, Pablo Piatti, Luke Shaw, I sent inquiries for them, and the clubs asked for astronomical sums of money, so I just simply removed them from the list. We won't follow up our interest. Of course, Alberto Moreno was on that list. We agreed a deal really in principle to sign him last year, but we pulled out at the very last minute. Depends whether we go in for a left back or not will depend on what Grimaldo does. He's, showed us last year that he's more than capable of, doing a first team job there at left back, and of course that would leave us Pap Suarez, excuse me, for cover in that left back position. So that wouldn't be too bad left backs in terms of rotation. My voice is all over the show here, but it wouldn't be too bad left back. I just want to get better cover and more squad depth. The squad is very light and thin on the ground at the moment. So last year we were plagued by injuries. If that happens again this year, we would be in trouble. That's why I don't really want to see too many players leave the club. You saw a brilliant goal just there. Vintage Jamie Vardy hunting down the defender, getting away and smashing it into the top corner. Something he didn't do last season very well. He did it in the first season. He scored some fantastic goals, but last year was very much hit and miss. We're hoping to bring back that consistency, but we get a win in our first pre-season game, which we're happy about. Obviously, want to get some of this prize money in the bank. Our £2 million bid for Alejandro Grimaldo is accepted. He only wants 20 grand a week, 4-year contract. He'd be happy to be a squad rotation player, so we offer him exactly what he wants. Javier Hernandez is a striker we've identified as a target. Obviously, banging goals in real life, it was a mistake, in my opinion, for Manchester United to let him go, but it wasn't my decision. Riyad Mahrez, of course, needs no introduction. He's flying in the Premier League at the moment. He's a right midfielder we're looking to bring in. In terms of transfer offers for our players, Inter Milan are interested in Marc Bartra. Now, he's valued quite highly. We didn't pay that much for him. I decided to just negotiate 30 million just to see if Inter would be willing to give us that kind of money for him. I'm not sure what I would do if they offered that kind of money. Nathan Redmond, obviously wide right midfielder. He'd be a good rotation player to rotate with Vidio, of course. The plan being get a right midfielder in and move Wilfried Zaha on, because he's not been happy at the club for some time and he wants 60 grand a week, which I don't want to give him that, to be fair. It's almost double what he's on now. You can see Giroud asking for 110 grand a week, which is more than I really want to be paying for him. I offered him 100 just to see if he would accept. I would have to stall that and think about it. I don't want to, use the whole budget on just one player. We need to kind of improve the squad across the board. So hopefully bring in some bargains. We're putting the youth guys out this time to see basically what they're capable of. Obviously, we've got no recognised striker in the squad. Berahino and Kabay are still... Kabay's obviously a midfielder, but they're still recovering from injuries that they picked up at the back end of last season. So not worth risking them here in a pre-season tournament. Lasse Janka, though, the youth team guy that we signed last year, is in goal. He pulls off a fantastic save just there, as you saw. Villarreal very much on top over these young players. They've got a lot to learn, but Lasse Janka in the sticks really showing us what he's capable of. He's very, very young. We've been training him up last year, and as you saw, his overall went up by like 9 or something through the training. So we'll continue to develop him. Just the 2 changes this time. Jordan Much and Yannick Vestergaard coming on for Eric Dyer and Sergio Mendes. I didn't want to make too many changes. Usually at half-time, I would make a load, as you saw in the previous game. But I like watching these youth players actually, give them an opportunity, see what they're about. Maresca there with a volley from a corner. Decent technique, which went just wide. But still, the pattern of the game continued very much in Villarreal's favour. Mario Gaspar coming close with a decent shot on the turn, but it flies just wide of the mark. But 15 minutes from time, they had a free kick, set piece out wide. They put it into the box. We don't deal with it well. And Bruno with a decent volley, actually, putting Villarreal ahead. I must say, I wasn't too bothered. I kind of expected with the team we put out to find this one difficult, but great technique from Bruno. Nothing Janka could do about that one. He's made some good saves, but no chance with that. He just flew across the goal, but Bruno smashed it into the back of the net. We're looking to get ourselves level, of course. Jonathan Williams coming close to doing that just 2 minutes after we went behind, but unfortunately the final whistle went and we picked up a defeat, meaning going into the last game, probably a draw against Trabzonspor, that's who we'll be playing, would be enough to see us through to the semi-final and get us some prize money. Speaking of money, Jonathan Williams, he's going to move to Watford. They've offered 2.8 million. As I said, I'd rather have the money in the bank than be carrying any dead wood. Javier Hernandez, our offer, I should say, was rejected. So we've gone back in with a £15 million bid. But Alejandro Grimaldo becomes our first permanent signing of this pre-season. And then Inter Milan come back to us with a £29 million offer for Mark Bartra. Now, he's valued at 18 million. I'm going to stall it because that is a lot of money. I just don't want to be selling our best players. As I say, the aim this year is to go for the title and really improve. And we're not going to be doing that by selling our best players. So I am thinking about it. I'll see what other options are available in the centre-back positions. We have only got 4 in the squad altogether. So we've got to tread very carefully. We don't want to leave ourselves too short heading into the season understaffed. But Giroud decided he didn't want to join. You saw us go back in for Riyad Mahrez with an £8 million offer, and you saw us offer a contract there to Nathan Redmond as well. All decent players, all players that we'd love to see at the club. But here's the team I've put out against Trabzonspor. Berahino has recovered from his injury, so he will lead the line. James MacArthur getting a run out. Still hasn't left the club. We've had no offers for him. He's been transfer listed for a while. But this starting 11 is a strong one. Obviously, I don't want to go out of this pre-season tournament, even though I don't care too much. Somehow, this didn't end up in the back of the net. We managed to scrape it away. But as I say, it's just a good chance to get some prize money, you know. And Berahino back, determined as ever. You see the brilliant slide tackle there. He cut inside his man and tried to finesse one into that far top corner. Very nearly succeeded as well. That's something we want to see more from him. But speaking of a change of formation, it's difficult to do that when we've only got 2 strikers at the club. James MacArthur, though, you saw him score a banger on the last game of the season. Last time out to secure us 5th place. And he scored another banger today. Short corner to the edge of the box. They left him unmarked. And it was a beautiful shot, actually. Really good goal. Starting to think we should remove him from the transfer list and give him some game time. But fact of the matter is we have just got better players. But defence, again, cut open far too easily. In a similar sort of fashion, I must say, to the Hoffenheim goal. They've just cut in on this right-hand side. Worked the ball across the goal, and no chance for Butland this time in the sticks. But as I was saying, we've got just the 2 strikers, recognised strikers in the squad, which makes it difficult for me to try any other formations. Because, of course, if I play 4-4-2, then we've got no other strikers. So it's, you know, really important for us to bring one in. I know we let Dwight Gale leave the club, which was probably, looking back at it in hindsight, a bit of a mistake. He was only on 15 grand a week. I should have just given him a new deal, and it would have saved us a whole lot of money and probably stress. Yannick Bolasie really unlucky here not to give us a 2-1 lead. His effort cannoning back off the woodwork, and Jamie Vardy clearly fouls his man there. Nothing given. He's through on goal. He's got to finish this. It's actually a really good save from Esteban. Vardy does everything right, gets a shot on target, and the game finishes 1-1, which incidentally is enough to see us through to the semi-final. So we get a bit of prize money, more funds in the bank, and our £15 million offer for Javier Hernandez, or Chicharito as you want to call him, has been accepted. He would be a crucial first team player. He's banging goals in the Bundesliga in real life for Leverkusen at the moment. So we offer him a decent deal in 10 grand. He wants 90 grand a week, so we cut it short by 10, offered him 80. Nathan Redmond is a deal we're stalling because this man, Riyad Mahrez, would be our preference. He wants 60k a week. I give him that. I know that sounds a bit contradictory of what I've said already, because I didn't want to offer Wilfried Zaha that, but I don't like Zaha's attitude. The reason we've offered Mahrez 60 is because other clubs are in for him. So that will bring this one to a close, guys. I want to make sure we get Mahrez, offering him what I think our competitors will offer. Of course, winning the FA Cup last time out, we have got the opportunity to compete for the Community Shield as well. So really happy with that, guys. Let me know what you think of the transfer business we've tried to do so far. Once again, massive thank you to all of you that voted. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you like the vid and subscribe to follow us on another epic season with Crystal Palace. And we will see you next time.